industrial systems engineering student, hailing from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm head drum major this year. Yeah. Alrighty, so good morning. The time is 5:17. Just waking up. Early start. Week 2 band camp. It's been pretty smooth. These are the hardest times of the day. Trying to get up and get at it when I'm usually never up this early. Yeah, this is the hardest struggle of the day. So.
Why'd you choose A&T?
A&T actually didn't come into the picture until early senior year. And it wasn't actually originally for marching. I actually came because of the engineering program. I knew I wanted to do something math and science related. So I started looking at some topics, and engineering was at the top of that. And I saw this was a good engineering school, not too far away. Also, I wanted to play baseball, actually. However, engineering did work out, baseball did not. And I came here freshman year, and coming out of 4 years of marching from high school, I heard the band and I saw the band, and that's when I knew I was at the right spot. And that's when I joined sophomore year. Originally, it was not for band.
So what's a typical band camp day like for you?
All right. We wake up 5:30, get to morning workouts around 6. We kick it off, and then
jump in. If you're giving instruction, jump in and show that freshman or that section member whatever it is they need to do. Less talking, as much teaching as possible. Lead by example. All right.
Then we'll go into breakfast, and after that, they go into sectionals. And for a drum major, that's when we start regulating and monitoring, going around checking on different sections, helping develop them musically. Which then is followed by lunch. After that, we do more sectionals, and then we have full band music rehearsal, and then we'll go outside, which is where we'll help with the drill and a lot of marching and maneuvering things towards the end of the day. And then sometimes we'll come back in, kind of end it with a nice crank session or announcements or whatever, or we might end with sectionals depending on the day.
Band, what is rule number 1? Keep your mouth shut. I think that only applies in one aspect. It's not just for the driven program, it's not just for everyone, it's for any time we are together and we are practicing discipline. Keep your mouth shut. If you're in attention, keep your mouth shut. If we're being ambassadors out in public and we're not talking at that time, keep your mouth shut until told otherwise. Now this is how we can run the season, like I've been saying. I'm trying to have fun this year. This is a great year. We got a lot of great stuff ahead of us. And I want y'all to enjoy it. But we can fall in and shut up and only play music and do what you're told if that's what you want to do. Y'all stay talking, and then when we want y'all to sound off, y'all quiet as hell. Do what you're supposed to do, period. Ladies, get water. Males, you're still in attention.
2 years on trumpet and now entering your second year as a drum major. How has the transition been?
I say the transition has been challenging, but in certain aspects, I would say my main challenge was the social aspect of it. My 2 years on trumpet, I was kind of in the shadows, and I didn't really open myself up or talk to a lot of people. However, when I became drum major, that first year, I was forced out of my comfort zone, and I met a lot of people. And this second year coming around, I just want to top that, and I just want to know everybody in the program. I want to know everybody on a first name basis. I want people to feel comfortable coming to me. But I would say that's probably the biggest transition was the social aspect of it and being social with everybody. I think people are being productive while enjoying it for the most part. I've had a lot worse band camps. I've had a lot stricter band camps. I think this one is kind of a good balance between discipline and enjoyment. 'Cause as you see, sometimes we have to lock it down and enforce whatever rule is being broken, or discipline where discipline needs to happen.
How do you balance school, band, and everything else?
School, it's the reason I'm here. I'm a student leader, student marcher, however you want to phrase it. Student will always come first. So I always make sure grades are where they need to be, and any decision that needs to be made, school is gonna come first, classes are gonna come first, and if that interrupts band in any way, then I make sure me and Doc have a nice conversation, or everything is understood on why this school or this class or this academic obligation, whatever it is coming before band. And if it's not that, then band goes over everything else. It's that simple. If it's not school, then it's band. Everything else literally falls under that.
First year, you're a rookie drum major with 2 new people. Now in your second year, you're now a vet with 3 new people. How has that been?
Okay, so last year, being a rookie, it was a lot of observing. It was a lot of learning on the job, catching on to stuff quick. Being one of 2 rookies, it was like we had to work together to ultimately kind of find out the best way to do things and exactly what Doc wanted us, like how Doc wanted us to get things done. And sharing responsibilities kind of was a little difficult at times, especially if they weren't specifically delegated to certain people. So then sometimes we find ourselves doing the same thing, or neither one of us doing the one thing that needed to get done. So it was a lot of miscommunication, and a lot of stuff that wasn't handled properly last year. Coming back this year, being the one vet and having 3 new people, it's like I know that everything has to be covered, and I like to delegate a lot more. So I like to give everyone responsibilities and jobs so that everything is being covered by every person. I don't necessarily need all drum majors doing one thing, or known for doing one thing. Like last year we were very heavy on roles like the communicator or the administrator or something. This year I was focused on making sure everybody was developed enough to do everything, so that regardless if someone was gone, someone else could step up and fill in that spot.
All right, here's a tough one. With everything being said socially about the Blue and Gold Marching Machine drum majors, what are your goals for the squad?
To prove everyone wrong. I see them. I know for the most part we have to earn our respect. We have to establish our image and our identity to most people. Smooth Eye is here. Definitely we'll be making a mark this year. And we just want to prove that we can be innovative performers and have a bomb performance, very lit, but on the flip side also be great disciplinaries and people who can have a lot of control over their band and does what the director expects us to do and trust his band in our hands. So I just say you're gonna see a lot of branding. You're definitely gonna see a lot of branding, and you're definitely gonna see the performance and discipline taking up a couple of notches. A lot more tighter as a squad.
Okay. Communication is key. How do you get your point across to the band while standing in line with the vision from Dr. Ruff?
So what we did this year, well, what I wanted to focus on was laying everything out in the beginning. Go over every single rule, every stipulation, anything that people were uncomfortable with or was unsure about, especially returning from last year, mainly within the old heads. So we laid everything out at the beginning of camp after we had our leadership retreat, and my whole thing was accountability and consistency. So now that you know what you cannot do, we shouldn't have to spend time addressing certain rules or certain regulations that we've already explained. So now we're just holding you accountable for you pulling your part, pulling your weight, doing what you're supposed to do. And we just continuously regulate that and make sure people are remembering what was set in stone and set earlier in the year, so that everyone heard it. So you know what you're supposed to be doing. You can't say anything when we address you. Saying that that goes with Doc's vision of consistency and always improving the band and not letting up on them and making sure everyone is held at the same level and everyone's on the same page. As far as the talking during morning workouts,
Yes,
go home, get your mind prepared, do whatever you gotta do, get it all out. But tomorrow, I'm serious. We're not. This is your morning now. We're not saying nothing. So when I give you that look, go ahead and hit the ground.
All right, last question. What would you like to be your legacy as a member of the Blue and Gold Marching Machine?
I wanna leave a strong sense of structure and continued improvement. Being a engineer, especially an industrial engineer, I focus on processes and I focus on the efficiency and productivity of a system or a process or something. So I really wanted to implement that in my band realm or the band world, and just really set standards for the band to live up to, especially the squad. As we said, we're really heavy on branding this year, so a lot of the stuff you'll see us doing this year, I want it to become tradition or to really stick or to become a foundation for someone to build on top of and just continue to take it. So what I just want to be remembered for is setting standards and having a fun, great year while doing it and proving that you can be the hardest, most disciplined band who falls in line at the tweet of a whistle, but on the flip side can crank you out the stands and turn up and out-chant you and have all this energy and excitement, but know when to turn it on and off. And as long as everything, like rules and leadership, everything is synced up and in place, and a standard is set for everything ahead of time so that you can just hold people accountable, then I think that goal can be reached and traditions will be left and new traditions will be left.